You're making me mess up. Hold on. Welcome to the I Talk Back Sports Show, everybody. If you could see the look that my co-host Jamal Bunner is giving me, you would understand why I have this devastating look on my face. I'm pretty scared, and he's thousands of miles away. I just don't understand it. Jamal,
Kay, good evening.
good evening. Would you like to give a shout out?
Sure, Kay. I would love to give a shout out to Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. 8 sacks and late adjustments, way to preserve our, I guess, league minimum franchise quarterback. Way to preserve him. What about you, Kay?
Well, I want to give a shout out to the Mesquite Police Department, who shot Lando Jones twice after the officers thought he was breaking into what was his own vehicle because the alarm was going off. So thank you so much for doing your due diligence before the arrest and also after the arrest, because he was in the hospital a couple of days before they decided to even charge him. So shout out to the Mesquite Police Department. Keep it up.
Wasn't he cuffed in the hospital bed?
Was cuffed to the hospital bed, and allegedly they moved him room for room so that the lawyers wouldn't be able to find him in the hospital. Allegedly.
Allegedly, okay.
Yeah, I don't know anyone at that hospital, but good work.
Great work. Thank you, Mesquite Police Department. Keeping us safe.
All right, so we're just going to say some things that are going around the different leagues. The Buffalo Bills are going to bench Tyrod Taylor.
Fixes all their problems.
Fixes everything.
Everything.
Don't fix the defense.
Nope.
They gave up, 47 points?
But that was the Saints, so, I mean, there's that.
It's still not the quarterback's fault. He has a 64% completion rate, 12 touchdowns, total touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 91% passer rating. Hey, I'll take them.
But I got you Kelvin Bryant 2 weeks ago. You should be lining it up at this point. I don't understand.
All right, well, we'll see. So, and also, Zeke Elliott has gone ahead and put down all appeal desires, and he's not going to fight it anymore, Jamal. What do you think about that?
I think that the players have learned their lesson and that this coming negotiation on the collective bargaining agreement, that they are probably going to do away with the ability of the NFL to hand down absolute penalties without any sort of adjudication. Both Tom Brady, who I'm not a fan of, and Ezekiel Elliott were not given proper opportunity to go and actually cross-examine or examine other aspects of their accusers were presenting to them. Basically, it was a kangaroo court, and so the hands of the regular courts are tied when this is what you signed on to. So that being said, I'm unhappy with it, but once you, from the legal standpoint, it is what it is. The players got themselves into it. They need to fix it.
Well, I don't think there's a lesson to be learned, except that when you have your collective bargaining agreement, maybe some of the issues you think will actually be an issue in the future, you kind of let your representative know and see what they can fight instead of just going in with anything just so you can get back on the court.
Can I say one quick thing, and that is, I'm not sure why I understand why they re-signed the head of the union to an extension, because he was a part of the original collective bargaining agreement that got them into this position in the first place, and that I'm questioning whether or not he's really the right person that needs to be representing the league when they go into this next set of negotiations, because you're going to start talking about CTE. You're going to start talking about also, the discipline and marijuana possibly, and as well as concussion protocol. Is he really going to be the guy to drive this towards an agreement that is really a little better for the players than what they're looking at right now? Because it doesn't. I'm not impressed with what he did this first time around versus what other leagues have gotten for their players. So, to be continued. So
Yeah, we'll see.
we will definitely see. So, Kay, got a quick question for you.
All right.
I am looking at a number of teams that are 7-2 in the league. Off the top of my head, I believe I'm looking at the Saints, the Patriots, the Steelers, and one more squad. Oh, the Rams and the Vikings. Now, of that list that I just gave to you, who's a pretender and who's for real in your mind?
I think the Rams are for real. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl. They probably won't make it to the conference championship. But I think that they will make a pretty good run, especially in the conference that they're in. So out of everyone, I would say them.
Okay. So, who's the pretender?
Rams, New Orleans, and who else?
The Steelers, the Patriots, and the Vikings.
I would say the Vikings. I mean, I think they're still trying to put Bridgewater in the game, and he ain't played in a year. So if they do that, I'm going to kind of question everything that they do. But with Green Bay being out, Chicago just being sucky, and Detroit, we don't know what they want to do from week to week. So I'll still say Minnesota out of everyone that you mentioned. I think that the Patriots and Pittsburgh kind of have the AFC probably locked up. So
it's interesting that you say that, because my pretender was actually Pittsburgh, based upon the
schedule.
I wasn't going to just say the schedule, yes, but man, the performance that they had in Indianapolis this past weekend was just like, Pittsburgh keeps winning just by the hair of some chins on games that they really should be winning bigger. And speaking of winning big, I'm going to go with New Orleans as these boys are real. They really seem to have a really good defense. We always knew they had a potent offense. But now they went out and grabbed a couple of rookie corners who are really doing a very good job. And these guys look like they are for real. So all of our picks from the NFC South are almost, reversed from what we expected it to be.
No.
No?
Not for me.
You didn't have New Orleans at the top.
I just think that in the AFC, there's more room for error. I mean, you can play some 3 to 7 games and you'll be all right, because the next week, you'll be able to do a little bit better. But in the NFC, I think it's very tight, and that's just what I think.
Understood. Agreed.
All right, so what we'll do is play the name game, Jamal. I'm going to give you this name, and I want you to tell me what do you think about it. And it just so happens to be the New Orleans Saints offense, mainly the running backs. What do you think?
I don't know what to think about the running backs. The stats that they're putting up is really impressive. I wanted to get rid of. I wanted to see Mark Ingram gone. I didn't think that he was really producing. He's underproduced since he got to New Orleans, or he's been injured, and that they first got rid of Adrian Peterson at the beginning of the year, which I thought was these guys. Because did New Orleans start off 0-2 or 1-2, something along those lines, and then they just started rattling off wins and just looking like the offense of old. But now they have this defense that is there to back them up. But the New Orleans offense has always been able to put up points at home. Now they're doing it on the road. You came to Buffalo and put up points in some chilly weather. I'm looking forward to watching them as the season go along. I'm glad we don't have to play them. But, yeah, the New Orleans offense it's exciting. What do you think?
I thought with giving away Dalvin Cook to the New England Patriots over the offseason, the kind of turmoil that Adrian Peterson had, I thought he was going to whoop his coach's ass at one point because they weren't running the ball. And I think with them getting rid of him, they're like, yeah, maybe we should run the ball. I thought Mark Ingram early in his career was just going to be like a good college running back and not a decent running back in the NFL, and he's definitely surprised everyone with the two running backs that they have, him and Kenera. They're saying that they are on track to get 3,000 yards between the two of them.
Wow.
So that's pretty good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful, especially for Breeze, who's used to throwing the ball, all over the place. So the fact that they can go into another phase of their offense and be successful, I say thumbs up to my second team, the Saints.
Just a quick note, I saw something about this game last Sunday that Breeze did not actually throw a touchdown pass. And he only threw, I believe, was 184 yards, and yet the Saints put 47 points on the board. So, right. Yeah, it's good to have some backs. Bravo.
What a way to adjust.
Exactly.
Wow. I wish my team could adjust.
So, Kay, my turn, please. So, I've got two names for you. Mm-hmm. The first one is head football coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, Kevin Sumlin.
Well, there's a rocky road down there in Texas A&M. Since Sumlin has come there, he has had some success. But what I'm thinking is with the move to the SEC, they're expecting a little bit more. But realistically, people really have to ask, is he getting the type of recruits that he need? And if recruiting is not the problem, is he the coach for the team? And I still don't know that answer, Jamal. So what do you think?
I think that Sumlin, unfortunately, has worn out his welcome, and that he was fortunate when he first came in that he had Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans on that squad, the one that took the SEC by storm and threatened Alabama.
And turned away Kenny Hill. Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And in turn, he has seen, what is it, about 4 blue-chip quarterbacks transfer out of his program, which is really not a good sign. There are red flags with that right there. And that otherwise, he's produced bowl teams just about every year that he's been there, but he hasn't won, won big, and that's gonna haunt him. And unfortunately, A&M has the kind of grandeur visions that we do in Austin as well. We expect to have championships every year. So for Kevin, sorry, I think this is probably the end of the road for you.
All right, yeah, and I just asked one of our listeners, Kelvin Thomas, he said Sumlin has messed up the quarterback situation year after year, and that is his problem. So I asked him if he think he's out, and I'll be waiting on that answer. All
right, in the meantime, my second question for the second name for you is Eli Manning.
Well, my nickname for him, he's the Lesser Manning.
Oh, gosh.
I really appreciate, except that one game in, the playoffs. But other than that, I appreciate Eli because he's giving us many gifts, often at the right time throughout the game. He's at least good for 2 interceptions every time we play him. And I really thank him for that. I think the Giants are really in a really bad situation, not because of this year with the injuries to their many of their offensive players, but I think that they thought they had a plan rebuilding their defense, and it still sucks, kind of like we suck. So, I think that they need to rethink their plan. Many people say they need to rethink their coach. So we'll see. What do you think about Eli?
I think it's time for Eli to go ahead and step aside. He's had a very good career that, unfortunately, right now, I do understand that he is missing a number of tools, but I think it's at this point, it's time to go ahead and, step off into the sunset, let the Giants find somebody else, and let them do the rebuilding that they need to. They need to, as you said, rebuild the defense. They need to find a running game. They have no running game whatsoever, and you cannot win in the NFL just throwing the ball. Odell Beckham Jr., unfortunately, is out this year, and so Sterling can only do Sterling Shepard. He can only do so much by himself. So
Yeah.
we can. He honestly, I think it's probably the best thing for him to do is to just go ahead and call it a day and start looking at hopefully broadcasting or something on those lines.
I don't think he's through playing. I think he'll probably go somewhere and maybe play a year or two. He'll still be more effective than Jay Cutler, so surely he can get a job
Will he
somewhere.
though? Will he?
I don't know. Who cares?
Okay. Okay.
All right, so I got one last name for you.
Okay.
And that's John Gruden. And the reason why I bring him up to
University
you
of Tennessee job.
Tennessee.
If you had asked me this question about a month ago, I would have said unequivocally no. But with the caveat that ESPN is talking about more layoffs and they're probably going to restructuring contracts, and you gotta think that John Gruden is making a heck of a lot of money, that John Gruden is also Chucky's replaceable. I'm sorry, he's replaceable in that booth. So, and I think the opportunity to get back into coaching, watching his brother Jay do fair to Midland, but not actually compete against him by going to the college level, I think that he wants to teach. I think that that would probably be a very good fit for him on paper. I don't know if it's going to do him any good when everything is said and done, but yeah, from an offensive standpoint, it'll be great. So I think it's a really good move if he decided to do it. What do you think?
I think that John Gruden, although I don't really care for him in the booth, but I think he has a great personality. I think that his way of teaching, he makes things really, really plain that even I can understand. So that's a good thing. I mean, he makes it, he really paints a wonderful picture, what he does. I think an offensive coordinator in maybe the NFL, I could see him doing, and he would be an offensive genius. I don't know. College is tricky. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it. That's just me.
Yeah, I think that he has, of the coaches that I've seen that have been in the NFL, he still has that excitement, that sort of, he can reach out and speak to these kids and get them excited in such a way that they'll go out there and try to kill whoever. All I need to happen is for Tennessee to beat Florida a few years in a row, and that would do nothing but make me extremely happy.
You're so selfish, Jamal.
Look.
And Kelvin says that he thinks that Chad Morris will be the next coach of Texas A&M.
Really?
Yes, that's what Kelvin thinks.
Really?
Yeah. So what we'll do is right quick we'll go through the games last week. I don't think we need to talk about the Packers, the Bears, the Browns, the Lions, the Bengals, the Titans, the Jets, the Buccaneers. Let's just talk about everybody else, Jamal.
Wow.
So we touched a little bit on the Saints and the Bills, and I've yet to actually see an entire Saints game. So I'm gonna want to do that real soon. So, what do you think about the Marumba? Ain't none of these games good. so let's just do ourselves a favor for.
I don't want to talk
sanity.
about them. I don't want to talk about them.
The damn Cowboys.
I don't want to talk about the Cowboys.
Let's talk about the Falcons. How about that?
Okay, I couldn't make it past the third quarter. I was extremely disgusted with this game. I was extremely. I don't understand how you allow a defensive end to come flying around the corner on 3 straight possessions and not make a change. And to his credit, I don't know, did Chaz Green get more than 2 holding penalties? Because are they
I mean,
fined?
he would have to hold on every play so that his quarterback don't get knocked in the ground. So as
Hey.
many as he needed, he should have had.
Exactly. Who was the guy? Eric Williams, in his latter years of playing for the Cowboys, did do one thing, and that was he held like crazy to make sure that nobody got to his quarterback. Now, did he kill drives doing that? Yes. And in this particular case, I would have been fine with some dead drives than seeing Dak Prescott running for his life or on the ground or rushing throws because somebody couldn't stop either of the defensive ends from coming around and putting pressure and sacking him. That you didn't go to max protect, that you didn't bring in like a tight end to just sit there and try to double team on one of the defensive ends, or just both tight ends and just, on both sides, because the pressure wasn't coming up the middle, it was coming around on the end. So the running game that I was hoping for against these are the Falcons, okay?
Well, Eric Walker says that Chaz Green was too slow to actually make a hold. So, with that being said,
he could tackle him. He could have tackled him. He didn't get by that fast.
He wasn't ready, okay? Obviously, he thought he was back in Cleveland, which clearly he isn't. And he was back to his old Cleveland ways, which we can't have. But also what we need to have is to know that there's a problem on one side of the field and to either offer some help or take the guy off. I mean, and then how about having a reliable backup? How about that? How about that, Jamal?
I got nothing. How about having an offensive coordinator who sees this and makes necessary changes before halftime or during halftime? Because they can't.
How about a whole defense who waits till Sean Lee leaves the game to stop playing? You don't stop playing just because he's on the field. He's already told you what to do, what to expect. So how about you execute?
Overall, we could go on and on about this game. Overall,
we won't.
It just, we're going to file this away with the Denver game and just keep it moving.
We'll probably be having the same conversation next week, so.
I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
Okay, Jamal. If we're having the same conversation next week, I'm going to let you know.
If we're having the same conversation next week, I'm going to have a guest host who is going to be there to protect me from you.
Okay, well, that's what you'll need. All right, so tomorrow is actually a good game on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen often, but tomorrow will be the day. We have the Titans and the Steelers.
No, ma'am, that is not true. We have the Houston Oilers against the Steelers. No, I'm just playing with you. It's the old. Remember, the Titans were the Houston Oilers originally.
Yeah, but they weren't really interested. So
hey. All right. Anyway, so yes, we do have a surging Titans team against a kind of a sloppy Steelers team that we were just talking about in terms of not really putting forth an effort. So, Kay, who you got in this game?
Well, I'm gonna take the Titans.
I'm not being dramatic. I honestly am not sure on this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans as well. I don't feel good about it, but yeah, I'm going to take the Titans on the road.
And they're giving Pittsburgh 7 points, and we're both taking the other team.
The other team.
Okay, Lions, Bears. I'm going to pick Chicago to win this, actually.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions on this one.
Jaguars, Browns.
Jags.
Ravens, Packers, in Green Bay.
Green Bay is down to their third string running back, and supposedly Ty Montgomery may or may not be coming back, but this is a tough team to try to run against, but Baltimore really hasn't shown any signs of life. I'm going to have to go with Green Bay at home.
Okay, so next we have
Wait, who did you take?
shit. I don't Green Bay because they playing at home, and that's the only reason.
Okay.
And then you never know what Baltimore is gonna do.
True, true, true.
So yeah. So then we have the Bucks and the Dolphins. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins because I don't know what the heck the, Tampa Bay is doing.
As much as I really don't want to, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I'm gonna have to take the Dolphins because yeah, the Bucks are confusing me. We also have the Cardinals at the Texans.
I'm gonna I'm gonna hope that the Cardinals can pull it together for their end of the season run.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take the Texans. So we have the battle of the 7-2 teams. We have the Rams traveling to Minnesota against the Vikings.
Only because the Vikings are no longer playing outside that I'm gonna pick the Rams.
Wait, what?
They played for that 1 year while they were constructing the other stadium, so they don't have to play outside.
So they don't have. So even though they have home field advantage, you're gonna take the other team.
Had they been playing in the cold, I wouldn't have picked the Rams. That's what I'm saying. I know I went all the way around.
I just got it. Okay, I get it.
You're scaring me.
I'm gonna take the Rams as well. I already know this one. Chiefs and Giants.
Cheese, baby.
I'm gonna take the. You know what? I'm gonna take the Giants. Yes.
Giants.
I'm gonna take the Giants.
Week.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch. But they're at home, so I'm hoping. Okay, never mind. So the Skins versus the Saints. Saints.
They're playing home for real.
Yeah, they're playing at home.
So we should go over and under. That's what I should find out.
All right, so wait, so all right, so what do you want?
It's like 65 points. I think it's gonna be over.
Okay, you look that up. I'm curious as to what the over and under is. I'm gonna take the over on that one. So the Bills travel out to Los Angeles to play the Chargers.
Ooh, and that's tricky. But the only reason why I'm gonna pick the Chargers is because the Bills got to travel a little further to get to them. And they sat down my boy, So whatever happened to them, they deserve.
Yeah, they deserve to lose this as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chargers playing in the soccer stadium. Surprisingly, the Bengals, who we thought were going to be in the cellar, are actually just above the Browns. But the Bengals are traveling to Denver. Both of them are 3-6.
There's a redhead quarterback that plays for the Bengals, and I have so much hope and wishes for this man, but he don't do right.
Andy Dalton does not do right. You're right.
He does not. He can't get right for real.
But on the other side of the field, there are two quarterbacks who can't seem to get right either.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I'm going to go with the Bengals. Because I think the Broncos quarterbacks are that bad. So.
All right. So, yeah, that's interesting.
All right.
So next?
Next up, we have the Patriots playing the Raiders. Not as sexy a matchup as it looked at the beginning of the season.
The Patriots, I'm going to pick the Patriots to win.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Patriots as well.
Now, I wish that the hype was all what we felt at the beginning of the season, but yeah, we can't hype this up.
Right. There's yeah. Good luck, NFL. So the 8:30 game, 7:30 your time, Sunday night. The Eagles travel to Dallas. I'm a homer. Sorry. I think they'll figure out.
I'm realistic, okay? Now, I mean, as much as we want to, they want to say the little quote by Dak, we gonna do what we supposed to do, but I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, Jamal. So,
So you're taking the Eagles.
I
Your
am
beloved
going
Eaglets.
they're not my beloved,
Your
but they're
beloved
they're gonna win
Eaglets.
this. They're gonna win this game on Sunday. So I'm going to say that I'm not gonna take the Cowboys. I did not say I was gonna take the Eagles though. I just said I'm just.
I
not
mean,
gonna take
there are
the
only
Cowboys.
2 teams playing, though. You have to take one or the other,
But
I
you won't hear
feel.
that coming out of my mouth, man.
I'm just saying, you got to pick one or the other. And so lastly, okay, so on that one, you're not taking either team. You just aren't taking the Cowboys.
It's going to be an 0-0 tie, Jamal.
That would not be funny. Anyway, Kay, last game that we have are the Falcons against the Seahawks in Seattle. Good. I'm glad you feel the same way about this as I do.
But see, the one thing about the damn Seahawks is they'll do some more crazy stuff on a national game when people got to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? And it would actually be a 21-21 tie when you wake up in the morning. So I don't really play with Seattle like that. But what I will say, I think they've kind of took a hit with Sherman being out. I think that he's their emotional leader. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Falcons, even though, that is a pretty tough stadium to play in.
All right. And while we have a couple of minutes, I'd like to run you through just really quick. College football has been interesting the last couple of Saturdays. I got a couple of matchups. Just give me a yay or nay on these. Starting with number 19, Michigan, at number 5, Wisconsin.
I'm going to take Wisconsin. Michigan is not who I wanted them to be this year. They can mail it in. I mean, they can go to whatever bowl, the corn chip bowl, whatever. Just go ahead and win for that because it's over for them.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I'm going to unfortunately have to say Wisconsin's winning that one. Homer game here. University of Texas travels out to West Virginia to close their season. No, that's not true. There's one more game. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, they're not going to go to the corn chip bowl or the salsa bowl.
Yeah.
So, I just want them to look good while either they win or lose. Just look good. I mean, put up a fight for me, please. Show me the desire and the will that you did in USC and that you did for Oklahoma. Show me something, and also, Oklahoma State. Show me something.
Yes.
I want it.
And
who are you thinking, Jamal? You didn't tell me who you think is going to win this game.
I'm not going to say Texas isn't going to win. So,
You're not going to say they're not going to lose or they're not going to win?
I'm not going to say they're not going to lose either. So, okay. The last game that I have for you is the battle for Los Angeles, UCLA versus number 12 ranked USC.
I want USC to go down. I don't care who they play. Is it possible? Yes. Will it happen? Probably not. But I will be going for UCLA on Saturday.
Why do we dislike USC so much?
Because they are another one of those teams. They remind me of Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? They will push them to the forefront. They will push. If it's undeserved or not, or deserved or not, it don't matter. And I just don't think that's. I don't get it.
Yeah, agree.
I don't.
Yeah, I just don't like USC. I always take UCLA in this one, and I think this year is probably not going to be any exception. So, I got a couple of true false for you, if I may.
Sure.
All right.
False.
True.
Okay.
Okay.
Warming up.
Wow. True or false? You would trust Bryce Butler to catch your paycheck?
I I don't even trust Bryce Butler to catch a cold. Okay. Like, how you gonna catch the ball where you gotta turn over, do a flip, and a somersault? You catch that, but just the normal, typical, everyday, run-of-the-mill ass throw, you can't catch.
Alvin Harper Part 2. Yeah. Yeah. I, too, wouldn't trust him. True, I wouldn't trust him to catch a cold, a fly, anything. Second true false. The Eagles are the best team right now in the NFL.
I think that's false, only because of their scheduling. They have it pretty easy, and they're healthy. So, I mean, if we were healthy and didn't have our, commissioner like gunning for our player, we'll be all right too.
He wouldn't have helped us. He wouldn't have helped us Sunday.
That's what you think.
He wouldn't have.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Okay. The defensive end sat in the backfield all day.
But it's not even about last week's game. It's about the stress that this man has been playing over for the majority of this season.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, he's a young player. You just can't be saying he's a woman beater if he may or may not be. You know what I'm saying? Without proof and without prosecution, it shouldn't be an issue, is what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. I completely agree with you. So,
Thank you.
To answer the true false, I'm also going to say false and say that I feel that the Saints are the better team, and that I am also in agreement with you that it has been a scheduling thing for these Eaglets, and so I hope they enjoy this easy run of games. At some point, they're going to actually start playing some real teams, and I'm going to be interested to see what they do.
All right. Well, there we have it. All right, Jamal. So this has been real. Next week we're gonna have our guest host come on and talk about some NCAA, some UA basketball, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, guys, day before Thanksgiving. Just come on and check us out. Jamal will probably be in a better mood than he is right now.
Wait, what? See. I'm in a great mood right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Jamal, I mean, this is all sports topic, but I've been watching Boardwalk Empire.
Shocking.
And I've been taking my time with it because I am so intrigued. It's beautifully written, Jamal.
Yes.
And I just love all the characters, every last one of them.
Chalky.
Yeah.
What season are you up to?
2.
All right.
I'm only on season 2. But I've been watching it work a little bit. So.
Really?
Hey.
You work hard. Don't even say such things on this show.
I do work hard, but a woman need a break.
Don't say such things on this show. So.
All right, Jamal. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you as always. He waves to everyone.
I'm waving to you. Thank you, Kay. Just
okay.
you. Just you.
Welcome. So thank you, everyone, for listening to the I Talk Back Sports Show, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.